Hi Aquarius, and welcome to your August-September love predictions reading. I had to remember the months. This year has gone so fast. So we are going to be looking at love for you, specifically from mid-August to mid-September. If you're looking for a more general predictions reading, I have your August one up on my channel, and I recommend you join the family and subscribe to stay informed of the September predictions reading as well. We're going to start by pulling 3 oracle cards from this oracle deck. I'll be clarifying with tarot and getting advice as well, but these 3 cards will tell us the main 3 themes your sign can expect to experience when it comes to love in the month ahead. I've noticed some recurring themes for the air signs specifically, so fingers crossed it's not too much of an overlap, but I don't control the messages. We just tune in and see what the energy tells us. So what's happening for Aquarius when it comes to love in the month ahead? Here we go, something new, third eye chakra in the reverse position. What is happening for Aquarius when it comes to love in the month ahead? What's going on for Aquarius? We have the 4 of Swords, just breathe. That's what I'm struggling to do currently because I have a dry cough. So I'm only telling you that because it is very distracting. I do my best to not cough, but if I do, I really can't control it. We also have the Fool card with trust. At the back of the deck is the sacral chakra. So I do see growth. I see inspiration. I see passion. I see that you may be feeling very inspired to take some sort of growth action, like action to help grow your love life in the month ahead, whether this is a new person or whether this is an existing connection. The goal here seems to be exploring your passion with your romantic interest. I do see sexuality as well for you being highlighted. You may be feeling more activated than usual, to say it bluntly, or should I say plainly, but I think with the sacral chakra being here, there is just this feeling of growth. So I want to say be careful if you're not looking at having a child. You seem to be very fertile in the month ahead. And that could be why the third eye chakra is here in the reverse position, because the first thing that I'm seeing for you is this situation of something happening that you weren't expecting. Third eye chakra is also about you struggling to trust a situation based on the information you have. You're feeling very logical about it. And logically, you don't know where this is going. I feel, Aquarius, like you are passionate about it, but you just are trying maybe not to get your hopes up too soon. Because you feel like you're talking yourself down. Like you're like, oh, maybe, like I feel like that's going to happen, but I've got to think about this logically. So what's going on with this third eye chakra for Aquarius, please, Spirit? We have, Justice. So this is partnership Libra energy. What is going on with the third eye chakra for Aquarius? Okay. We have the 10 of Pentacles. What is happening with the third eye chakra for Aquarius? Okay. We have the 4 of Wands reversed. Clarify the Justice card, please, Spirit. We have the Ace of Swords. Clarify the 10 of Pentacles. We have the Princess of Swords. And clarify the 4 of Wands. We have the 9 of Swords. At the back of the deck is the Devil card reversed. So I feel like it's interesting because the Devil card reversed is almost like you're trying to balance out your want for something. It's like you really want it, especially in a love context. It's almost like an over... like a craving, almost like a temptation, and you're trying to rationalize this temptation, or you're trying to talk yourself away from an unhealthy behavior here, an unhealthy impulse for a lot of you. I can't deny that you are feeling very impulsive, especially around like your you're more attractive energy, or you're more like, if you feel like someone is really attractive to you, I feel like you're more likely to bend your usual boundaries or rules for this person, and you're trying not to do that over here. You're trying to be very careful and balanced, especially with Justice and the Ace of Swords. I do see you trying to really approach the situation from a new perspective with a new idea. It feels like this situation has a lot to do with partnership or balancing out a partnership. And I think that this common theme is about trying to trust the information that you have. You have this really airy energy here, and I see like either new communication or new action inspiring this new idea of things being more balanced and more fair this time. I do think that you could be dealing with a situation that you're comparing to your past. And for some reason, it's from a point of view of like, I'm not going to do what I did in my past. I'm not going to let this get as bad as it did before. And underneath the Devil card is the High Priestess, which is like a third eye chakra energy. So you're trying to learn from a previous situation in order to make the most out of a present situation. And this situation feels like it's a lot more balanced, and you're hoping for it to become a partnership if it isn't already. You're hoping for it to lead to more success than it did in the past. And I think that you're taking a very logical approach with Justice being here, almost like a judge, weighing up the pros and cons, the facts, the black, the white, you know, in terms of what is factual, what is in the gray area, what is in the dark, what don't you know yet. And you're just trying to make a decision based on everything. I feel like with the 10, it's not like a decision though, you're trying to take action based on everything. Very stern approach. And I think with the 10 of Pentacles with the Princess of Swords, I almost feel like you're putting a lot of pressure on the situation to turn into something very successful in the future. Like, this has to do with planning a pregnancy for some of you, or it has to do with planning a partnership around, like, do we want to have kids together? Are we going to have a home together? Like, are we going to get a dog together? Like, you seem to be really thinking long term. And even though the Princess of Swords is indicating a fairly new energy or an immature energy that hasn't really had its chance to prove itself, I feel like you're still taking this rudimentary phase and trying to blow it up onto a grand scale. And you are thinking very, very far ahead, to the point where with the 4 of Wands and the 9 of Swords here, you're worried about things that haven't even happened yet. You're staying up late, scaring yourself with the possibility of things going wrong in a way that they haven't even, you know, it's not even a potential yet based on the energy. So I do think that some of you guys are reading too far into this situation and causing unnecessary stress on yourself as well. But a lot of this could have to do with unexpected changes with the 4 of Wands that have you feeling out of your comfort zone. You could be away from your usual situation and you could be feeling just very protective over your loved ones and your family members, if this is a case of you not being where you usually are. Like, I almost feel like you are out of a comfort zone here, and it's keeping you up at night just worrying about what's going to happen. That may not apply to all of you, but if you're in a relationship, I think that you may have moved houses together recently, or someone may be thinking about moving in, or you may be at a distance, and that is what is creating all this uncertainty, because you're used to doing things one way in the connection, and now there's this change to the physical location of the two of you seeing each other. So what is the advice here for Aquarius with this third eye chakra energy? We have the Orphan card coming out for you first. What is the advice here for Aquarius? We also have the Sword coming out. What is the advice here for Aquarius, please, Spirit? We have the Healer, and at the back of the deck is the Ocean. So Your advice has a lot to do with your feelings for the ocean to come out. 35, I feel like things are changing. I see growth. I see a change in your opportunities, and I see a change in what you want. And I feel like this has a lot to do with you comparing what you've been through and just looking at how your present circumstances are changing. And either this is a relationship taking things to the next level, or just you kind of eyeing someone out and trying to decide whether it's worth pursuing a future with them. I really feel like someone in your life is inspiring you to think about your future and to think about how you want your future to work out based on what you know isn't what you want in your future. And so that's your past impacting you. I feel like you're being very logical. You don't want to feel tempted. You don't want to feel rushed. You don't want to feel like things are out of your control. You don't want to feel like things are moving in a way where it's not going to be successful either. But what you're doing is you're creating so many possibilities, and you're expanding things internally to a very vast scale. It's a lot to take on. Like it feels exhausting. With the ocean here, there's so much depth to you. So just be aware of that and take care of yourself, and be sure not to take this too far to the point where it's unmanageable and you're exhausted all the time. You know, it's always good to think about things and to mull things over and to be aware of what your actions are creating. But I see you even researching facets of reality that haven't even technically come into fruition yet. With the orphan here, there is a strong need for you to stay connected, and I do see the orphan as a feeling of missing out, or a feeling of almost dependency. It's in your case, it is that devil energy of making sure that you're not just kind of making these decisions or coming up with these ideas because of what you're afraid of happening again. And that orphan card as advice is just being more aware of your wounds from your younger years or your more formative years, or even just from, last year, if that's as soon as this happened, and how those wounds do pop up and influence your decision making. With the sword being here, I do see your truth and your communication being really essential in this situation. Being honest with yourself foremost, and then being honest and truthful with whoever it is that you're dealing with. It's a strong feeling of staying connected to your truth. So that means not getting too carried away with your internal world. You have to stay grounded in reality and connected to your truth. But the healer card is really just talking about those wounds and being aware of what needs to be addressed in order to make sure that your decisions aren't coming from a place of fear and from a place of hurt. Especially if that hurt is old and it has just re-emerged. So let's have a look at that Four of Swords next, the Just Breathe energy. What is going on with this Four of Swords for Aquarius? Okay, we have the Star card coming out first. What is going on with that Four of Swords for Aquarius? Ay. Okay. What is going on with that Four of Swords card for Aquarius? We have the Ace of Pentacles. Interesting. So we got you coming out with that Star card. And technically you're here too with the Fool card. We have the Magician. Okay. Clarify the Star. We have the Death card. Clarify the Ace of Pentacles, please, Spirit. We have the Two of Swords reversed, and clarify the Magician. Thank you. We have the King of Pentacles. At the back of the deck is the Hierophant upright. So what's interesting here is there is a familiar energy of very Aquarius energy in terms of being so, like, this is what makes Aquariuses special. Y'all have this ability to see future possibilities that other people can't, because you know that even if it takes hard work, you can still make it achievable. And this sometimes puts you in a lane of your own, a league of your own. While you can be someone who's so logical, you sometimes stay stuck and restricted, you can be so forward thinking that you literally create possibilities and outcomes that other people wouldn't consider to even be possibilities. And that's what I think is happening here. You're in this pace of healing and needing to rest, but your mind is very active. Your energy is still very active. Even though physically things may be slowing down in one respect, a major theme here is meditating and connecting more to your way of thinking. And I think that this is just about creating mindful, meaningful moments to be more observant and aware of the actions that you're taking when it comes to love. The Star card with the Death card, there's a transformation happening here in your love life that has a lot to do with how you see your future working out. It has a lot to do with changing your perception and being open to possibilities that maybe you never thought you could have before. I do see one area of your life sort of coming to a culmination, an ending, a close, to pave the way for a new beginning. But that new beginning is still somewhat undecided. It's a bit of a gray area for you. Because of the Star card, you're still technically healing something or reconciling with something. And it feels like while you do that, you're paving the way for a new future here, a new potential, a new prospect. And for some of you, it's as simple as, I never thought I would have kids, and now all of a sudden it's possible. I never thought I would get married, now it's possible. I never thought I would date someone like this, and now it's possible. With the Ace of Pentacles here and the Two of Swords reversed, this radical sort of change is manifesting in a very tangible way. There's a new physical opportunity here that has a lot to do with something that you thought you would never do with the Two of Swords reversed. You never thought you would do this, and here it is happening for you. I almost feel like you don't know what to make of this, though. You need time to figure it out. With the Hierophant at the back of the deck, you want to take the road more trodden, the more sort of practical, logical, safe option. But I think that isn't really your MO. And so even though there's this desire to conform and to do what is safe, there's also this understanding of the fact that I don't have to, and what if it is different? So I see a very slow process of thinking things through and trying to figure this opportunity out, especially with the Magician and the King of Pentacles. It's a strong feeling of trying to do what is safe for the sake of growing something substantial and tangible. If you choose the less traveled option or the less tried option, you're kind of creating your own path, and you're not going to be very certain of the results, the outcome. Some of you could be trying like alternative forms of fertilization in terms of having a child. But whatever it is, it feels like the Magician is saying, like, there's a lot of creative, powerful thinking here. There's a lot of power in your hands, and communication is everything. It's basically a case of faking it till you make it and having the confidence to see it through. With the King of Pentacles, the goal here seems to be some sort of material success or some sort of tangible success, which is why I was thinking fertilization, just because that's one of the examples I was shown to explain this theme. But keep in mind, it is a theme. It's not like that's not going to be the example for all of you of what is happening here. That King of Pentacles just feels like the need to be successful. And that's why we're probably being very slow about this and very careful about this. We don't need to rush this. We just want to be careful. So let's clarify and get some advice for that theme. What is the advice here for Aquarius? Ooh, we have the Ocean, okay. And we have the Bridge, if it'll show itself. What's the advice here for Aquarius? We also have the Box. All right. None of those cards really focused. I apologize. At the back of the deck is the Tear card. So I see the Tear being you, first of all, letting emotions out, whether that's through communication or whether that is through crying. There's this feeling of you letting emotions out. So I feel like you do need to talk about your feelings or just process your feelings, excuse me, in a more physical way. It could just be your emotions in general, though. The 52 is symbolic on that card. I just can't figure out why. Why is 52 symbolic? I think somebody else is going to play a very pivotal role. That's the other thing with this Hierophant card. Maybe you're seeking advice about this. Maybe it's not so much about conforming. It's more about seeking a more experienced person out to get advice, whether this is a professional or whether this is somebody who's been through what you're going through and you want to get advice from them. How do I take this further? How do I get my successful outcome? What can I do? What are my options? And with the Ocean here, there's a lot at stake because you seem to be very deeply invested in this emotionally. Like it's like, it feels like you're very deeply invested in this outcome emotionally. It has to be this way, not just because you're trying to tick a material box, but emotionally, like you're very tethered to this outcome being successful. The box is questioning your confinement in this situation, your limitation. And as advice, the box is asking you how you may be restricting yourself. So sometimes it's not really advice, it's more of a question, but it is hopefully going to be helpful in this situation. How are you restricting yourself? What do you need to do to work out of the box? And is the box helpful? Is operating under this restriction helpful, or do we need to look outside of it? Try something new. With the Bridge card reversed, I do see you needing to kind of cut ties with something here. It's like you have to close one door in order to open another that is more fruitful. So with your love life, it could be that this process of transformation is about kind of untangling yourself from something that isn't a part of your journey anymore and freeing yourself up for a new opportunity in which to be more successful. It involves your love life either because it's you and your partner trying to take things to the next level, or it's you as a single person trying to take things to the next level and realizing that you have a connection to something that is inevitably ending, in which you need to let it end in order to create space for something else to come in. So that's what I'm seeing with the Four of Swords, and I see that being a very slow theme in the next month. The Fool card over here, though, this Trust card, it could be a very quick theme because it's often a quick action, a leap of faith kind of feeling. And it's an Aquarius feeling of going with your gut instinct and just apologizing later if it doesn't work out. So let's clarify that trust energy for you, Aquarius. What is happening with that Trust card for Aquarius, please, Spirit? Okay, we have the Five of Wands reversed. What is happening with that Trust card? Sorry, Ree. We have the Wheel of Fortune coming out, landed on Kirk. What is... We have the Ace of Cups. Okay. Can we please clarify that Five of Wands? We have the Lovers card. Okay. Clarify the Wheel of Fortune. We have the King of Cups. Clarify the Ace of Cups, please. Oh my days, come on. We have the Nine of Cups. Okay. At the back of the deck, we have the Five of Swords reversed. So I feel like that Five of Swords is talking about us needing to find the solution to one of the problems that we're facing. And it could be that this issue arose, It could be that this issue arose more so excuse me, in the month of July / the beginning of August, it seems to be a pre-existing issue. It has to do with us either having arguments with the person that we're dealing with, or just feeling like we're not able to take things forward in a positive way. It feels like a 2 steps forward, 1 step back situation, or 3 steps forward, 4 steps back even, you know? It's like progress isn't being made here. And so we're having to consider doing something differently in order to secure a more successful outcome. So where you were trying to take things slowly over here, you are going to be trying to move things more quickly with this theme. It could be a case of, do I do this or do I do that? Or it could be a case of, I've done this, now how do I do that? So I think with the 5 of Wands reversed and the Lovers card upright, there is a feeling of you making a decision here based on bringing a relationship closer together, either because this is somebody that you're interested in, but you need to make your intentions more known, or because this is a pre-existing relationship and you just haven't been able to be as close as you want to be. I feel like if there is a separation, you're trying to get closer to this person, and the goal here is to do so with little arguments and little disruption. With the Wheel of Fortune and the King of Cups reversed, I do think that part of the reason we had not felt comfortable moving forward before was because we were uncertain of the other person's feelings, or we were afraid of things not kind of working out as we wanted. I'm hearing we didn't want to give our hopes up, but I also think the King of Cups reversed could have been us just fearing things again. A lot of fear, or it could have been us feeling things too strongly too soon and kind of psyching ourselves out of doing anything about it. With the Wheel of Fortune, I do see divine intervention here. I feel like Spirit is going to orchestrate some sort of chance meeting or an opportunity for things to just kind of come together in a very fated way. And the King of Cups reversed is an opportunity for you in that divine intervention moment to do something about how you feel. And it's up to you then to take that action if you want. If you don't, then you miss out on that opportunity. But I feel with the Fool card being here, most of you are going to go, that's the opportunity that Hermit lady was talking about. Okay, I'm going to do it. I'm going to take my leap of faith and I'm going to make my intentions more clear. With the Ace of Cups upright and the 9 of Cups upright, I do see a new opportunity in love here. I feel like this is just an opportunity. It's not a promise because it's highly dependent upon what you do. With the 9 of Cups upright and sacral chakra being right here staring at me in the face, I feel like you're very inspired to take action based on trying to secure some sort of emotional success here, some sort of emotional wish fulfillment. Like, this is really what I want and it's being handed to me on a silver platter. All I have to do is go over and talk to him, talk to her, talk to them. So I feel like you're going to do it. I could see you doing something you're not usually into, but it feels like I'm hearing the water's just right. So come and dive in. Let's get advice for you though. What is the advice for Aquarius in this situation? Oh. My gosh, what is the advice? Thank you. I was like, am I just going to be shuffling for the rest of this period? The gem card coming out first. My camera's about to max out, so I've got to reset it soon. We have the Warrior card coming out as well. Beautiful rainbow on there. There's a lot of rainbow imagery though. I love that. We also have the ring. And at the back of the deck, we have Thanatos. Okay, let me reset my camera and we'll talk about this. So with Thanatos on the back of the deck, I feel like this situation is a very now or nothing moment. You feel like you have to do something because it's like, what are the chances? Like, first of all, what are the chances that I would see you here? What are the chances that, you know, I was just thinking about you and now you're here? Like, it feels very much like a now or never moment. And your advice is to see it that way, actually. Your advice is to put a bit of healthy pressure on you and make a decision based on it's now or never. Also, you need to stop comparing yourself to other people. I think that's what this Just Breathe theme is about. It's kind of about reconciling with what has happened in order to get into a space of being more open and receptive to where things are going. And that does involve you believing in yourself and boosting your confidence a little bit with that Magician card and the King of Pentacles, recognizing what you have to offer, but also if there's something that you really, really, really want, recognize how you deserve it. And with this confidence boost, that fake it till you make it energy, I also feel like you've put a lot of hard work and effort into who you are. And you've made some positive changes for yourself that aligns you more with the outcomes that you want. Like you tangibly deserve this, but there's also this feeling of you believing it. So the Gem card reversed is interesting because you almost have to desensitize the magnitude of this situation in order to feel confident in moving it forward. You have to not think of it like this really, really precious gem and I'm just a peasant, why do I deserve it? You almost have to make it less shiny in order to make it more approachable. And I think that while there is this now or never energy about this situation, the Gem card is saying that there's a lot of potential here that isn't promised to you. It's literally up to you to make it your own. And a way to do that may be to just make that person more human and less godly in your mind. But the Ring card is interesting. The Ring card is a proposal of some sort, an offer of some sort, whether this is advice for you to be the initiator, or this is advice to you to be more receptive and to put yourself in a position to receive more offers from romantic interests. I feel like the goal here is either to be open or to initiate with the Ring card. It's very much, it's the number 57, which is a change and also movement through divine intervention with that 7. That's how I read numbers anyway. One day I'll explain this better to people, but that's my logic with numbers. The Warrior card reversed is an interesting energy of trying to take a softer approach, a less sort of rash approach. I would consider a warrior energy to be very defensive and protective and like ready to fight type of feeling. In the reverse position, it's this feeling of taking a soft approach and doing something to obviously get the outcome that you want. So you wouldn't go to the movies, with your... It's almost like you need to be ready for what it is that you're doing and to act in context of what you're doing. I can't think of an exact example except that you're not going to war. So your advice is to act accordingly with the actions, with the outcome that you want. Like if you want a romantic future with this person, then pave the way through romantic actions and gestures and flirting. Maybe you're not comfortable with flirting, and that's what this is. It's just about matching the way that you come into the situation with what you want. Don't just put this person in the friend zone, Aquarius. Make it very clear with that Ace of Cups, Nine of Cups, that you are more interested in an emotional connection rather than just a friendly connection. So that's what I'm seeing for you, Aquarius. You're an interesting one. We didn't get the chance to look at a specific person's energy. So if you feel like you have more messages, you may want to check your moon or Venus sign, and we may be able to get you more messages about your love life and about who you're dealing with primarily. A lot of this felt like it was just you and me kind of getting you in the right headspace, almost psyching you up and helping you understand what it is that you're going through, because you're going to have the tendency to overthink a lot of things this month. So please don't just live internally. You have a lot of tangible opportunities to move things forward for yourself. So I hope that the advice in this reading was helpful. Please look after your beautiful self. Have a successful, prosperous, abundant month ahead, and I shall connect with you in another video. Bye.